Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the rundown, we're playing for both teams when we take a look at Equinox. So Equinox is the first of her kind, being able to swap between different forms, giving players access to two different power sets with dramatically different playstyles, one more focused on control and support, while the other grants bonuses to offense. Her ability to shift her skill set to fit solo and group play definitely makes her more flexible than most, and gives new meaning to being dressed for the occasion. So you can pick up Equinox's blueprint in the market for 25,000 credits. As for her components, note that you'll have to craft a day and night aspect, each of which requires 4 drops per aspect: a helmet, a chassis, a system, and a blueprint, for a total of 8 pieces, all of which are dropped off of Teal Rhaegor in the Titania assassination mission on Uranus. Now, if you're not in the mood to leave your fate up to RNGesus, you can always pick her up pre-built along with a Warframe slot and a catalyst for 325 plat. Or, if you feel like saving yourself even more time, you can always pick her up in the Equinox Mega Pack for 835 plat. Now, there's tons in that bundle, so I'll leave you to investigate all that goodness yourself. Now, looking at her base stats, she does seem average overall, with a bit of a bonus to her energy pool, which honestly is a pretty big godsend as she can be a bit of an energy hog. However, Equinox's passive may offer a little help, as it restores 2 points of energy for every health globe picked up, and 2 points of health for every energy orb picked up. In addition, you can dictate which form Equinox starts off as by the luminance of your energy color. If it lands on the bright side, you'll start off in the day aspect. If you choose something deeper and darker, you'll begin with the night. So Equinox's first ability, Metamorphosis, allows her to swap between day and night aspects. After the initial cast, there is a delay of approximately 2 seconds, where Equinox is shifting into her new form. During that time, she is temporarily unable to cast any other abilities. After the transformation, she receives one of 2 buffs. If she cycled into her night form, she is granted 150 bonus shields and 250 bonus armor. However, if she cycled into her day form, she gains 15% bonus movement speed and a 1.25 damage multiplier. Do note that these bonuses do not stack, as recasting Metamorphosis will remove the previous instance of the buff. In addition, these effects will slowly degrade over the skill's duration. Equinox's second set of abilities is Rest and Rage. Equinox's targets, as well as those in a 2.5 meter area of effect, will be afflicted with one of the following debuffs. If she's currently in her night aspect, she'll put her enemies to bed, strapping them down and leaving them open to being finished off. Note that this effect does have a duration, however at max rank the rest effect may wear off early if they lose more than half of their health. Now, if she is currently in her day cycle, she riles up her opponents, making them 50% more vulnerable to damage, but speeding them up by 20% at max rank. Now, while Rage does sound a bit risky, keep in mind that its effects do stack with the rest of the day abilities, and can be used on enemies that have been put to rest, so feel free to play a little bit rough. Her next set of abilities, Pacify and Provoke, create a 16-meter aura around Equinox that have some very interesting effects on the battlefield. If toggled on in her night aspect, at max rank enemies within its area of effect deal 50% less damage. Now, one thing to note about this ability is that while it only costs 10 energy to cast, it will drain a small amount of energy every second for every enemy caught within the effect. So pay close attention to your power reserves, because being drained dry in the middle of a clusterfuck isn't necessarily a good thing. On the other end of the spectrum, if it's toggled on during her day form, she grants 20% bonus power strength to her and any surrounding allies. The activation cost is the same as Pacify, but only drains you when an ally affected by Provoke uses a skill. Equinox's final set of abilities is Mend and Maim. This is yet another toggle aura that stores up energy for every kill made within an 18-meter area of effect. Whether it's used as Mend or Maim, the amount will display itself in your buff window. When the ability is deactivated in the night aspect, it will take the amount of energy gathered and split it evenly as a heal across all allies within the area of effect. Now in the day version, it does have a bit of a twist, as all enemies caught in the initial cast, as well as any new enemies that enter the area of effect, are temporarily staggered and afflicted with a bleed proc. Once Maim is deactivated, it releases all stored energy, dealing the accumulated total as slash damage to every enemy within the area of effect. Now there are a couple things to note. Energy stored does not carry over when you swap forms, and unlike Pacify and Provoke, this drains your energy for a set amount per second. If for some reason you were to run out of energy before you're able to trigger its effect, it will simply fizzle, doing absolutely nothing. So all in all, I have to say that Equinox is absolutely fantastic, especially once you master both aspects and are able to assess which form is best suited for the situation at hand. She's fairly decent at solo play with a literal Swiss Army knife of a skill set, but group settings seem to be where she truly excels. Interestingly enough, she is one of the few frames whose synergy is focused on staying near her allies, as they help fuel her ultimates and she can support them using her auras. In addition, her ability to shift her aspect lets her tailor her playstyle to the current needs of the battlefield, which makes her an awesome frame to bring into pub groups, as you never know what kind of composition you'll end up with. Now to be honest, the biggest thing you'll need to focus on when playing Equinox is assessing your switch. Will you start off in the night form by resting big threats, then slip into the day aspect to start racking up kills to fuel your main? Or will you provoke your allies using your day aspect when they trigger their ultimates, only to shift into the night form to catch an approaching enemy squad with your pacify? With so many abilities at her fingertips, a good Equinox will be a tactical juggling act. So whether you're playing rough with her day aspect or tying them up with her night aspect, Equinox knows exactly which strings to pull in order to keep them begging for mercy. So thank you all for watching another episode of The Rundown. If you haven't already caught it, be sure to watch as I fanboy over the newest items in U17, as well as my in-depth review of the Cull Star. Now, don't forget to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned for more Shibari here at A Gay Guy Plays. Girl, what are you doing with your skirt all up? We are here to fight Grenier, not watch Magic Mike.